Hello my dear students, welcome to my English class. Today we'll do English revision 5, okay? And the topics are from prose we have King Shibi, and from grammar we'll revise sentences and phrases as well as kind of sentences that includes assertive or declarative, interrogative, imperative and exclamatory sentences for class 4. So first let us move on to King Shibi, okay? Before we go on to the revision part, first let me give you a quick recap of the story, that is the summary of the story, okay? King Shibi was a great ruler and was famous for his truthfulness, justice and keeping his words. He always loved animals and looked after their welfare. He was a very charitable king. One day, when the king was holding a court, he saw a dove coming towards him with great speed. And a hawk was after him, and to escape from the clutches of the chasing hawk, the dove made a lot of effort to hide himself somewhere. Seeing the king, the frightened dove took shelter in his lap. The dove said, "O king, save my life. I have come under your shelter." The king had vowed to protect anyone who took his shelter. Thus, the weak and deprived could not be exploited by the rich and the strong. The king then said, "Have no fear, my son. That eagle would not be able to touch even your feathers. Relax in peace and have no worries." So saying, the king readied himself to face the rapidly approaching hawk. The hawk landed in front of the king and said, "O king, you have hidden my prey. Please release him so that I can appease my hunger." The righteous king saw the point in hawk's demand. Okay, the righteous king saw the point in hawk's demand. He faced a peculiar dilemma of protecting the dove and at the same time not to deprive the hawk of his rightful prey. He decided to resolve the issue by offering the hawk equal amount of meat from his kitchen, but the hawk insisted on having his prey, that is the dove, as his food. After some decision, the hawk agreed to set the dove free of two conditions. The hawk said, "I shall let the dove go if equal weight of flesh from your body is offered to me as food." King Shibi was quite pleased with the adjustment. He thought that a pound or two of flesh from his body would not kill him, and the life of the dove in his shelter would also be saved. Thus, he was happy that he was saved from the great sin of inability to protect the weak. The king then asked for the knives and the balance scale. On one side of the scale, the dove was kept, and on the other side, a large chunk of flesh from the king's thigh was kept. But, strange as it might seem, the dove's side always weighed more even as additional flesh was added. Thus, almost whole of the right half of the king's body was cut. Still the weight could not be equalled. Then finally he himself stepped onto the scale and it balanced. Then suddenly he saw the hawk and the dove disappeared, and in their places stood God Indra and God Agni. They then again made the king's body whole. The gods then told King Shibi that they just wanted to test him, and he has passed the test. The gods also said that King Shibi's name shall be remembered as long as the world lasts. After all these blessings, the divine beings left for their heavenly abode. Thus, in this way, the story ends. I hope all of you remembered the story very well, isn't it? And once more, I gave you the summary and I hope it's clear to you. Okay. Now we'll move on to the revision portion. So children, please take out your copies and write it down. Write revision, then write answer the following questions. Right? Answer the following questions. Okay. Now the first one. What was the character of King Shibi? What was the character of King Shibi? We all know King Shibi was a great ruler. Everything he did was right and justified. Okay. So in this way you will continue writing. Then he was also a very charitable person and helped all the needies. Okay. You will find the answer in page 12. Okay. Now we'll move on to the next one, that is, what was the strange thing that happened? What was the strange thing that happened? King Shibi cut pieces of flesh from his arms and thighs, filling the scale, but the dove always weighed heavier. This was the strange thing that happened. Okay. King Shibi cut pieces of flesh from his arms and thighs, filling the scale, but the dove always weighed heavier. This was the strange thing that happened. Next we have, what did the gods told King Shibi? What did the gods told King Shibi? The gods told King Shibi who they were and that they just wanted to test him. They also told that King Shibi's name shall be remembered as long as the world lasts. The gods told King Shibi who they were and that they just wanted to test him. They also told that King Shibi's name shall be remembered as long as the world lasts. Okay, I hope all of you have written it down. Now I am moving to the next part, that is number 4. RTC. Okay, this is a RTC. One day when King Shibi was holding court, a dove flew in. The dove was in great fear and took shelter in King's lap. Okay, so the first question is, where are these lines taken from? We all know these lines are taken from the story King Shibi. Okay, this is a very easy answer. Then, who flew inside the king's court? Who flew inside the king's court? A dove flew inside the king's court. Where did it take shelter for its protection? It took shelter in the king's lap for its protection. Now I am moving to the next slide. That is, why was the dove in great fear? Why was the dove in great fear? The dove was in great fear because the hawk was chasing the dove to kill it. The dove was in great fear because the hawk was chasing the dove to kill it. Who was the dove scared of? Where did the dove's enemy go? Who was the dove scared of? Where did the dove's enemy go? The dove was scared of the hawk. This is the first part's answer. Now the second part's answer, you will make a paragraph and you will then start writing. Okay. The dove's enemy, who was the hawk, chased its prey and went to King Shibi's court. The dove's enemy, who was the hawk, chased its prey and went to King Shibi's court. What did the king tell the dove who was in great fear? What did the king tell the dove who was in great fear? Shed your fears, dear bird, for none need fear who seek refuge here. Shed your fears, dear bird, for none need fear who seek refuge here. Okay. Now I am moving to the next part, that is, answer the following questions briefly. Answer the following questions briefly. What happened one day? One day, while the king was taking a court, a bird flew in and sat on the king's lap. Okay, you will get the answer in page 12. Next we have name the gods. Name the gods. We know. Do we know the name of the gods? See the first question, what happened one day? The answer is on page 12. That is, one day the king was holding a coat and a dove flew in and sat on the king's lap. Okay. Then name the gods. The name of the gods were God Indra and God Agni. Next we have, what qualities of King Shibi did the gods wanted to test? What qualities of King Shibi did the god wanted to test? The answer is very easy. Does anybody know the answer? I hope all of you know the answer, isn't it? Okay, they wanted to test King Shibi's generosity, kindness and righteousness. The gods wanted to test King Shibi's great qualities like generosity, kindness and righteousness. Okay, what did the hawk say that the king has, why did the hawk say that the king has no right to interfere? Why did the hawk say that the king has no right to interfere? The hawk said that the king had no right to interfere because it was not a case of human being. The hawk said that the king had no right to interfere because it was not a case of human beings. Okay. Now next we have practice work which you will do on your own. I won't give you the answers. Okay, that is, correct the errors in the following sentences. I hope all of you know how to correct the errors, so you will do it by yourself. Number 1, King Shibi was a cruel ruler. King Shibi was a cruel ruler. Number 2, a huge elephant who was chasing the dove arrived. Number 3, when they saw what the king was doing, the queen, the ministers and servants became greatly happy. Number 4, the king cut pieces of flesh from his arms and thighs, filling the scale, but the hawk always weighed heavier. Next we have make sentences with the following words. Number 1, subject. Number 2, charitable. Number 3, shelter. Number 4, wait. Number 5, blessing. I repeat, number 1, subject. Number 2, charitable. Number 3, shelter. Number 4, wait. And number 5, blessing. Next is, who said these words to whom? Number 1, within inverted commas, this bird is my food. Number 2, I shall arrange for the flesh of a goat or sheep or deer to be given to you. Number 3, you are great and generous. Number 4, O king, protect me from my enemy. So that was all from our prose portion, that is King Shibi. Now we'll move on to English grammar, and the topic is sentence. So let's see what is a sentence. A sentence is a group of words that makes complete sense. A sentence must have a verb. Example, the sun rises in the east. Okay, here in this sentence, which is the verb? Rises. Okay, and the full sentence is beginning with a capital letter and ending with a full stop. So children, always remember, a sentence always begins with a capital letter and ends with a full stop, a question mark or an exclamatory mark. See, full stop 1 we already saw, that is the sun rises in the east. Next, examples, who knocked the door? Question mark. How cold the night is, how cold the night is, that is exclamation mark. Okay. Next, a sentence has two parts, that is subject and predicate. Here the subject can be a word or a group of words. It refers to the person, place, animal or things or idea which the sentence is talking about. The predicate is a part of the sentence that tells us something about the subject. It always contains a verb. Now see this sentence, my father is a doctor. So my father is subject, is a doctor is predicate. So the subject my father, who is my father? That the predicate says is a doctor. Okay, all these books belong to my sister. Okay, I hope it's clear. Note, the subject of a sentence usually comes first, but occasionally it is put after the predicate. In imperative sentences, the subject is left out as sit down. Here the subject you is understood. So that is, you have to understand that this sentence, sit down, the subject in this sentence is you. So you please sit down. Thank him. Here too the subject you is understood. You thank him. Okay, that's why only thank him means it is understood that it is referred to you. Okay. Now what is a phrase? A phrase contains two or more words. It does not have a subject and verb. A phrase does not make a complete sense. Example, played with Seema. Does this make any sense? No. It is an incomplete sentence. So that's why it is a phrase. Played with Seema is a phrase. Next, ate dinner. What? Ate dinner what? When did you eat the dinner? Ate dinner. Does it make any sentences? Does it make any sentence? No. So ate dinner is a verb. Phrase. Now we have exercise 1 that you will copy down. Rearrange the words in the correct order to make sentences. The same way I have written, you will write in the same manner. Okay. First you will copy the questions and then you will make a proper sentence with a capital letter as well as with a full stop. Okay. Number 1, good he a memory has. Number 2, sun art the round the revolves. Number 3, arrow I an air shot the into. Number 4, playing children at the park in the. Number 5, stood boy the burning on deck the. I hope all of you have written it down. Now I am moving to the next slide, that is exercise 2. Insert the phrases from the bracket and rewrite the sentence. See, number 1 is already done. I share a room with my sister, and within bracket the phrase is on the first floor. So I have to put on the first floor in the sentence. See the answer. I share a room on the first floor with my sister. I hope it's clear. Same way you will do from number 2 to 5. That is, the boy is my brother. Within bracket the phrase is in the striped sweater. Number 3, there was a king who had 2 daughters. Within bracket, once upon a time. Number 4, we have lived here. Within bracket, for many years. Number 5, the crowd grew restless and angry. Within bracket, outside the building. So wherever they will be placed, you will place them. Okay. Now let's see the different kinds of sentences. Sentences are of 4 kinds. They are assertive or declarative, interrogative sentences, and imperative sentence, and then exclamatory sentence. So let's see the definition of assertive or declarative sentence. A sentence that makes a statement or assertion is called an assertive or declarative sentence. It ends with a full stop. Example, this is a pretty painting. So this is a assertive or declarative sentence. Interrogative sentence, a sentence that asks a question is called an interrogative sentence. It ends with a question mark. Example, do you like the painting? Okay, question mark. Then we have imperative sentence. A sentence that expresses a command or makes a request or suggestion is called an imperative sentence. It ends with a full stop. Example, Tell me if you like this painting, full stop. Okay. Exclamatory sentences. A sentence that expresses strong feeling is called an exclamatory sentence. It ends with an exclamation mark. You can see the mark. So example is, what a lovely painting. Then exclamation mark. Okay. Now we have exercise. That is exercise 3. Identify the types of sentences. Number 1. How well she sings. After that we have an exclamation mark. So the sentence is exclamatory sentence. Okay. Number 2. What is your name? Question mark. Number 3. Did I say anything to make you angry? Question mark. Number 4. Who told you this? Question mark. Number 5. She is a successful writer. Full stop. Number 6. It is raining cats and dogs. Full stop. Number 7. I want to become a writer. Full stop. Number 8. She does not eat meat or fish. Full stop. Number 9. Go at once. Full stop. Number 10. Bring me that file. Full stop. Number 11. My mother makes delicious cookies. Full stop. Number 12. Fetch me a glass of water. Full stop. Number 14. Please be seated. Full stop. So I hope everything is clear to you, children. So that's all for today's class. Thank you and have a nice day.